What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I was gonna give myself 3 days off. I can't stay away. I'm legit. It's a problem, man. I don't know how I'm ever gonna quit this. I thought about quitting content creation like 20, 30 times, but I always get sucked back and I always got some shit to say and I like to yap. Anyways, let's see what Abigail Spanberger's up to as governor of Virginia, my favorite governor. And I like what I see so far. I like the building more housing or trying to. I like the economic relief she's prioritizing. I like that she's signing executive orders to deal with Trump before he gets to Virginia, which is smart and proactive. And there was something else she was doing, like the paid family and sick leave. That was like fucking massive, like because all states don't have that. I think most of the United States doesn't have like a paid sick leave or paid parental leave program. But that's massive. Makes it easier to raise a family, obviously, and more stability economically. Spanberger orders state law enforcement to exit federal immigration agreements. God, man, like I said, my favorite governor. I haven't seen anything she's done that I haven't liked yet. And my ticket, I'm calling the early ticket for. This is not a prediction. It's what I'd like to see happen. Ro Khanna from California and Abigail Spanberger as VP. Let Khanna do 8 years, then we get Spanberger for 8. Never give it back. And I don't see how that ticket could fail. He's against billionaires. He's for a wealth tax, and the New York Times and corporate media are attacking him for that stance, which is good for us because we're not billionaires. And Spanberger's doing things, real things. A paid sick leave program is huge, and to be able to tout that nationally would make a big difference. Which is why I wish Kamala Harris would have talked about a program for that, even if she was lying. You know what I mean? We could have got to a point where we could actually have passed that if we got a major majority in the House or in Congress. I mean. But I really wish Kamala Harris talked about a parental leave program. The governor also signed an executive order laying out the priorities for state police. Because it's like us. I mean, I say us because I'm a millennial, and I imagine most of my viewer base is. It's like we're not gonna be young forever. Like we want to have a family, and we can't have one in these conditions. And Kamala really fucked up by not talking about that stuff. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger signs an executive order Wednesday instructing the state's law enforcement agencies to terminate agreements that allowed them to be deputized to conduct federal immigration enforcement activities. A statement from Spanberger's office reads in part, Governor Spanberger today directed Virginia state law enforcement agencies and divisions, Virginia State Police, Virginia Department of Corrections, Virginia Conservation Police, and Virginia Marine Police to terminate all 287G agreements with the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, I was thinking it was CBP, U.S. Customs and ICE enforcement. These agreements placed Virginia law enforcement officers under the federal control and supervision to conduct civil immigration. And you know what that does? That hurts communities because they're not focusing on fighting actual crime. They're just rounding people up and creating crime. Don't forget. I don't know if it's still the case, but as of a week ago, there were 3 murders in Minnesota. 67% of them, 2 out of 3, done by ICE. So they make communities less safe. Police, local police, state police were doing a great job rebuilding trust with their communities, and crime was coming down nationwide until you wanted to reelect this dumb. I mean, have I cursed this video? I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm just tired. Like Americans, how are you this dumb? Like, you don't see your own life. You just can't see what's going on. You can't read statistics. You think Trump is going to make crime go up? The criminal? I just don't understand it, man. That's why I have zero love or respect or give any type of leeway to the people that voted for that because you know better. You know better. I'm sorry, man. Nobody's that dumb. You lived through him already. You know better. You're just hateful. And that hate is going to be turned to you now. You thought you were going to be voting for people like me. My life's gotten better. I don't feel any of this shit. A lot of white people are struggling right now. You voted for it. On her first day in office last month, Spanberger, Democrats, signed 10 executive orders, one of which rescinded Youngkin's order, terrible governor, which also encouraged local law enforcement bodies to enter similar agreements. Disgusting. But that order, you guys understand. You have a finite amount of resources. When you take them away from actual law enforcement, you make communities less safe. It's an easy equation to understand. Governor Youngkin, you fucking weirdo. Psychotic piece of shit. But that order merely eliminated Youngkin's directive rather than dissolving the agreements themselves. Oh, great. So it's a fake order. Zach, I got smoke for Spanberger, too. I don't give a shit. She's not infallible. Just a tool like everybody else. Spanberger also signed an executive order Wednesday laying out priorities and principles for state law enforcement, including de-emphasizing fear-based policing, enforcement theater, or actions that create barriers to people seeking assistance in their time of need. Yeah, like immigrants who can't go to the doctor or report crimes because they're afraid of being fucking deported. And people living in the shadows in the free country. I think it's extraordinarily important to make sure that we are celebrating and honoring and recognizing the strong vetting, strong training, and the incredibly high standard that here in the Commonwealth of Virginia we hold our law enforcement agencies to. The governor said she wants Virginia law enforcement officers to focus on their duties rather than answering to federal immigration enforcement. As a governor, I think that members of the Virginia State Police or members of the Department of Corrections should be working under and at the directive. Wait, what is this sentence? Should be working under and at the directive and supervision. A lot of ands. Supervision of the leadership within our agencies. She alluded to tactics of federal agents threatening public trust. Sadly, the bad tactics, the bad training, the bad vetting. They have all this funding to it in Congress. All these morons, these little 5'2", 700-pound, illiterate, woman-hating morons. Give them all these billions of dollars. Great job, America. This country ain't gonna make it. It ain't gonna make it without like a major split or another civil war. I wish I lived in a blue state because they're gonna win. Just like in the Civil War, the left is gonna win. It doesn't matter how many guns you have. The left is smarter. You understand? And during the Civil War, they didn't have to depend on human labor. They actually had factories and machines. That's why the South got crushed. These are fucking hillbilly morons. And I know hillbilly morons. I've lived in the South my whole life. Half my family is hillbilly fucking morons. House of Delegates Minority Leader, it's nice to see him in the extreme minority. They have a super majority of Democrats in Virginia, I believe. I don't care what he says. You know my policy, I don't read statements from known liars like all Republicans. Anyways, good job, Governor Spanberger. I'd like her to be even tougher. And it's good that she's proactive to deal with this before that motherfucker gets to the Commonwealth.